Hi everyone and welcome to Regiments. It's a very warm day here, so I've got the windows open, so apologies if there are any background sounds. I will try and edit them out. But I want to show off this preview version of Regiments. Many thanks to MicroProse and Bird's Eye Games for the key, so that I can show this off early. I'll also try and stream this a little bit at some point this week, and a full review will be upcoming. But I wanted to do a first play today. I'm going to skip the tutorials if I've actually done them before, because you could play some of these in the betas. Skirmish is an option that you can pick up if you want. Please bear in mind that this is a single player game currently. Multiplayer is something that has been discussed hotly on the forums a lot, and although they wish it was in, the issue they have is it would take a lot of extra development time which they just cannot afford. And as a single player title, it is a lot of fun, and let's not forget, while some of us do play multiplayer RTS, the majority of RTS players play for the campaigns and against AI in skirmish modes. So, you know, it doesn't have to be multiplayer for it to be a good game. Plenty of people will enjoy it regardless. So, let's hit up the operations tab because that's where I want to start today. This is pretty much a complete game. There's still some balancing and other bits and pieces that are finishing, so not everything will be perfect. I'm warning you in advance. And, for example, some of the final operations, I think the very final one, isn't actually accessible at the moment, which is fair enough. But let's have a look. So, introduction, June 30th. First front-wide ceasefire in almost a month of a bitter and chaotic fighting. A breath of respite from the mauled regiments and brigades on both sides of the former Iron Curtain. Germany, divided into East and West, was always a focal point of the global struggle between the Soviet Union and the United States, titans of their corresponding political doctrines. In a sense, it was only natural all hell went loose here once more in less than 60 years. Years had passed since the people on both sides of the Berlin Wall sang the same songs and chanted the same chants. Wary hopes of a peaceful resolution were in the air, but I guess even Bowie couldn't stop what was coming. But we're still alive. I might as well start to organise tons of notes, records and reports we've amassed over the past month. There's very little I can do to stop the unfolding events, but at least there's hope of understanding them. It all started with a skirmish not that far from the border. So, to our first operation. Rogue elements of the 4th MSD have carved out a nest around the Eisenach and are now gathering forces. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Empowered by the state of emergency, the 7th Panzer Division is tasked to root out the rebels. So we are playing as the 16th Panzer Regiment. Parent unit is the 7th Panzer Division. Colonel, we have just received our orders. The goal of our march west is finally clear. The good news is that the rumours about the new war are just that, rumours. We are not going to cross the border into West Germany. The bad news is that the mass strikes across the country have got much worse, and it's an open revolt now. Most of the 4th Mordsuchen Division has defected from the chain of command. They took positions northwest of Erfurt, clearing out the local Stasi and party presence. The attempts to suppress this news have largely failed, and their example has swayed a lot of those with wavering loyalties. They call themselves the Forces of Freie Deutsche Republik. This situation is unacceptable and must be immediately resolved before more people fall to this insanity. Their proximity to the critical section of the border presents a grave risk too. Your 16th Panzer Regiment will start the operation right away, even as the rest of our 7th Panzer Division will still be stuck in traffic jams and unruly crowds. What a place to get stuck with your tanks. Rally the remaining pockets of loyalist forces, defeat the mobile groups of the 4th MSD, and strike right into the heart of the rebel enclave. The discipline and speed should allow you to overcome the superior numbers. The state of emergency gives you full freedom of action. Spare nothing at destroying the enemy. So, you get lots of rule sets in this. So, you can have advanced rules, you can have more time, you can have random events, you can have bad luck, you can have high lethality, you can change all the accuracy and everything. to make it easier or harder. And if you click easy, you get an easy game, medium, hard, and master. We're just going to go medium because I don't have a really hard time, but we'll see how it goes. So we are to rally local forces. We are to defeat the 4th MSD mobile groups and destroy the rebel command network. Time limits, we have stage 1 2 phases, stage 2 3 phases, and stage 3 3 phases. I can't remember how long the phases last, but we're going to find out in a minute. So let's start this battle. So this is the planning screen where you choose your units and things like that. Now, you get a lot of choice in this game. A lot of choice. So this is also like the positions on the map where we're moving to and from. So I think we're starting down here, meeting the engagement, allied garrisons. Then we've got the attack, and then we've got more attack. So let's see if I remember where we are. Yes, right, hang on. So this is what we start with. So we've got 2 BRDM2s, we've got 6 sets of those. We've got 9 T72M1s, we've got 9 T72M1s. Now, this means 9 overall, I believe, so that means we've got 3 sets of 3. But you can only call in 1 card at a time from each stack. And then if you resupply and rearm them, they come from this sort of pool of 9. So if you send them in, you lose 1. So you only have 8, and you send them out, they will come back in as a full set of 3, but you'll still be down to 8 overall. But you can retreat units and things and they'll run off the field, so you can salvage groups where possible. We've got some riflemen, we've got some BTR-70 riflemen, we've got some SANI, which is your mortars, you've got the Shilka for anti-air, you've got the Mi-24P chopper, and you've got some supply. So other options include bringing more units, so you've got 3 additional slots to bring more units, and we'll have a look at those in a second. And you've also got this stuff down here. So for example, you've got deployment points, so you can increase the number of deployment points, which means you can call in more units at the start. You can have tactical support, which is like points to use tactical off-map specials, such as planes or artillery or missiles, various things that you get. And then you can have more supplies, so this is your overall supplies for repair, rearm and everything else, and resupplying supplies and everything else. So when you call in supplies and stuff, it will take from that pool, and when you put units within a zone, like a command zone you have, then that can resupply units and it will come out of this pool. So here we get to choose different groups of units. And you'll notice that some of them have the off-map tactical option. So here we can do artillery smoke. And here we have an Su-17 with 4 napalm bombs. So with some of these cards that you bring in, you get additional options. So this will allow us to have T-55s as well. And then if you hover over it and look over at the right-hand side, you'll see that you have level 1, level 2, and level 3. So you can actually level these up gradually. So once you buy it once, you can then level it up for an additional cost, 50 points specifically. You can see that down the bottom there. And next upgrade doesn't really do anything. It just, in fact, it doesn't do anything at all, does it? That's really weird. It doesn't even give us extra units for level 2. Normally you get something else, or like upgraded units or something like that, but it doesn't appear to give us anything there. Level 3, you get some more SANI. But that's all. That's not a very good one for upgrading. Mechanized Task Force, you get the BMP-1 Rifleman. When you upgrade it, you get an artillery piece. And when you upgrade it again, you get artillery strike from off-map. That's pretty good. Mechanized Task Force, you get the BRM-1K and the BTR-70 Rifleman. And then you get the same again, but they're upgraded to assault engineers, and then you get the same again, but with artillery barrage. And the last one down here, you get the R145BM, which is a HQ unit. So that's a command unit, basically. And you get the napalm. Then you get some T-72s, which is pretty good when you upgrade it. And when you upgrade it again, you get some more T-72s, and they go to M1 variant. That's pretty good, actually. I think out of what's there, that's probably the best, because it gives us, once we upgrade it, more T-72s. And it also gives us a HQ, because we don't have a HQ unit there to provide bonuses to our units. So HQ provide bonuses, a bit like they do in Wano. So they buff your units. So I'm inclined to take that because I kind of fancy that. And also having the napalm. So Operation Authority, we only have 25 left. So we can't get a huge amount at the moment. We can't afford that. We can't afford that. We could afford some supplies because they're only 25. There's nothing there we can buy either. So the other option would be just to save our points and spend them later. You can also get engineer support, and engineer supports allow you to place predetermined defensive things on the map, which weren't very accessible in the beta, so I've not really done that very much, but it means you can place minefields and fences and lookout posts and things like that. But let's go to the events. So, another big part of the game are events. There are good events and there are bad events. So you can choose what you want, but as you go through each phase, you have to choose a different one. So sometimes you will have bad things that have to happen, and sometimes you will have good things that will definitely happen, or you'll get uneventful when nothing happens. So our choices are, phases last 5 more minutes, so you extend operations. Okay, so that might be good in a certain phase, but not necessarily the first one. No special events is perhaps a good place to start for the first one. An extra tactical recon tac aid is available. So again, tactical aid are the off-map call-in, so you can use that for recon. It's like a recon special one. Again, I'm not sure that's going to be most beneficial. Repair depot is damaged, so refitting or retreating destroyed platoons will take much longer. Now, honestly, I kind of feel like that is a good place to start, because I feel like for the first phase, we're not going to be super aggressive. So I'm going to take the bad one straight away, because I'm not planning to be super aggressive. We need to get the lay of the land more than anything else. So you got the stages, which are all of these here, and we can see the operations log here. And that just tells us sort of what we've already read. So let's hit to battle. So main battle tanks, it says there, very good frontal armor, weak to the rear and the sides. Same as Wano, War Game, still Division 2. Most war games like this, I guess. In operations, combat is divided in 20-minute phases. Objectives on the map can be completed over several phases. Plan accordingly. So we can proceed. We're currently paused, and it will remain paused. We can place units while it's paused. So we need to hold Lauterbach West and Lauterbach East. And that is like the main objective. Here we go. So this is Allied forces. So that gives us 25 per phase. So if we hold these, because the enemy will try and take them, but we have allies defending it. So you see these ones that are green, these are our allies, and they will try and defend this point. They won't really push out though, but any point we capture will get a defensive force in the next phase usually. At the minute we have access to artillery smoke, but we've only got 5 points to spend. If we get 10 we will get heavy artillery, and for 30 we can call in our napalm. So we have all these things we can call in. Now can we deploy over here? No, we can't. So we can only deploy from this point here. So we need to try and link up with our allied forces here. So what we actually need to do is try and take this town, or this little village. What's it called? Bischofroda. We need to take Charlie, and we need to take Hill 90. We need to try and take those so we can link up with this here and then defend it, because we cannot deploy from that point. You'll notice when I pick this up, it's coming from this point back here, which is fine. We can deal with that. So what do we need to assault? Well, we need some tanks. That goes without saying. Now, all your units can rank up, so it's advantageous to keep squads alive or groups alive. So they will all spawn here at the start and move up. So we kind of want to move towards this, and we have to hope that there's no sort of enemy units in this town, hopefully. Otherwise, we're going to get shot in the side. We could probably do with a shilker just for some air defense. It's not going to do any harm to have those in as well. We've got riflemen with anti-tank here. So these guys, you can see their weapons at the side there. So they've got a BTR-70 rifleman squad. So they come in the vehicle, but you can deploy them, but they will always stay with the vehicles. So they will act like fire support for the infantry. And with that, you will get 4 machine gunners, 24 riflemen, 4 anti-tank mediums, and 2 recoilless rifles. Or you can have the standard ones, which just come with 4 machine gunners, 24 riflemen, and 4 anti-tank mediums, but they don't have the recoilless rifles. They cost the same points to bring in. We can call in some more tanks. So you're keeping an eye on the fact that you can, how much you can call in. So we've got 475 left. We are looking for reconnaissance. So we do have reconnaissance platoon, which is this symbol here. So we have the BRDM2. They move faster, see further, and hide better. So I would love to get those guys into this forest area. If you leave units in a specific area for a long time, especially if they're in cover, they will entrench themselves and dig themselves in, which protects them against things like artillery doing quite as much damage and also incoming fire. What else do we want to bring in? I don't really want to bring in a command yet. I think we'll bring in the other tanks. I think it's going to be beneficial to have plenty of tanks in. Just provide lots of fire support. And we're going to need some infantry. So I think we bring some infantry up here and try and move them up the road, ideally. And maybe some anti-tank riflemen that we will get into this forest here. And that leaves us with 200 points. So maybe we do bring in some mortars. We'll keep them at the back though. And then we've got 125 left. I think we just wait and see where we get to, and then we have the option of bringing in supply. So press pause to continue. Where is pause? I don't know what the pause key is. Let's double check. Controls. Pause. Literally the pause key. Is this a bad time to note that I have a German keyboard and have no idea which... Oh, pause is just pause on the German keyboard. Never mind, I just looked at it. English person with a... Oh, you can also click escape and return and it starts. T-55 is under attack, so they're attacking from there. So we need to go and support those guys. We need to try and get in here. We can smoke artillery in front of this to get close once we get a few units up close. Let's move these guys up. We want them facing that way. Shilker's just going to push up here. So we need to try and take this. Yeah, there's some... Look at that. They're taking fire at us already. So we're going to deploy these guys, if I can remember what it is. Attack, change mode, X. So the X is to deploy the troops. We just move them this way. What's attack move is E. So we do an attack move. And tank's taking a bit of damage there. I'm going to move these guys up this way. These guys are automatically firing, I think. Yes, they are. They're taking a lot of damage, so we're going to retreat those back. Yeah, so retreat those guys because they've taken a lot of damage. They're running away as well, so they're retreating. So we're going to deploy these guys now and move them into the town. Don't want to get these guys too much closer because they can be shot at. These guys will auto fire. You can stop them doing that. You can make them fire yourself. We'll let those rearm before we bring more in. These riflemen, if we zoom right in, we can see the riflemen are out, and they are engaging these guys. That's enemy riflemen as well. We're going to push these guys up further, because are they engaging? Yes, they are. I kind of want to push them right up to the town, to be honest. I'm going to push these guys up to the edge of here. They're getting shot at from over there. Let's drop some smoke down. Push these guys up a bit. There we go. Smoke cover. Kind of want to turn their weapons off. Hold fire. There we go. Just what is reverse in this? Reverse move is R. Just because they're getting shot at a lot. Let's get these guys into the town, you see. And they're just in better position. Sani are doing their job. These guys are almost repaired, so we can bring them in. You'll notice we've only got 8 now instead of 9. We can drop some heavy artillery on these guys at the back. They're dropping smoke on us. And call in some more tanks now. These guys are suppressed. Artillery should have done a job on those guys over there. Tanks are helping out a lot there. I'll move the shilkers up into here. That's an enemy T-72. So these guys are now hidden in here. We could probably bring in a supply to help those guys. Just have to be careful how we bring it in.
Zone captured.
I'm going to move these guys into the forest so they can perhaps fire out. We captured this zone. How are our allies doing up here? They're surviving. They're getting pushed, but they're surviving. So we need to get a move on. Obviously, we're limited in the forces we have. We've got 15 minutes left of this phase, so we've got plenty of time. We're not in any rush. Slow and steady wins the race. Pushing these guys up here. These guys have AT. They're riflemen there. Our Sani will keep firing. They currently have 62% ammo remaining. This is our supply trucks coming up. We're going to move them beyond the trees here. We need to try and move up the BRDM2. So what I'm going to do is try and move them this way. If I can move them up the hill here and get them into this forest, that would be good. We've got plenty of points. We can call in napalm in a little bit if we need to. I really just want to get these guys resupplied. Just a little bit worried about numbers of troops there. We've only got 18 to 34 and we've only got 7 to 32 there. So I might actually retreat them because I don't think I can fully resupply the squad. I think I have to take them out to rearm them with infantry members. We'll see though, we'll see. Let me just stop this here. Because this should give them resupply. I think it's probably giving them ammo. Oh no, it is giving them infantry. Super. So it can't give them new vehicles, but it can give them more infantry. Oh, that's excellent. Please note that you do lose supply points when you bring these in, but it does tick up over time. So we're going to try and get this guy up here. Hopefully he won't get shot at by any tanks as it whizzes across. I'm going to move this guy into the point here because it should rearm it. You see a little supply marker there? Because they have 62 left. I'm just letting them auto-fire for the most part. We'll just let these guys fully rearm. There we go, 34, 34, 32, 32. Fantastic. So they're fully repaired and rearmed, and we've still got supply left. So we can push these guys up to here. And obviously the intention will be eventually to push them up all the way. I'm going to move these guys across here and try and get close to this point Charlie. We can move this up to here. You can do fast move if you want as well, where they'll basically put their foot down. BTR 70 under attack. Okay, so enemy units there. But our tanks will engage them. It's just a small squad of riflemen. So we're going to engage those guys. Where's our Sani? They are fully rearmed and repaired. So we're going to tell them to move fast to here. I want our tanks to focus fire on these guys now. T-72Ms. Oh, guys are getting hit quite hard there, aren't they, by those tanks? 800 meters range. They're not quite in range to fire their AT, so we need to get closer. So we just push up. Need to get within 800 meters to start firing the anti-tank. There we go. There we go. Anti-tanks away. And these guys as well. You got to pay attention to your ranges. There we go. Mortars firing on these guys now. These guys are low on weapons, so we're just going to take the supply truck over there to rearm everyone. Their veterancy has gone up, so they're doing good. Let's get these guys up here. We still have plenty of mortar fire going on these guys, and the tank fire as well. And our infantry's going in slowly. And the mortars are hitting those guys now. They're almost dead. These guys are getting hit pretty hard. We've killed those guys. So we're going to push this up, I think. Just attack, move it up. See if it can get shots on the stuff at the back. We'll move the supply up with it. Just going to move these guys up as well. They're nearly dead. We've got a lot less than we do. And we've got plenty of tanks and shots and artillery coming in on them. We're going to move this guy up as well. Positioning is everything in this game. Did you see a shot come from back there? I saw a shot come from back there. I wonder if they've got something heading in this way.
Zone captured.
I'm just going to push some tanks up to here. Yeah, they do. They've got some in the town, look. We've got some tanks in there. I think we need to... actually, we're winning this fight. It's T-55s. They're sending a lot in here, so let's drop some heavy artillery on that and move these guys back. Those guys can stay in defense there. We'll push these up to here. Actually, you know what? Let's bring it up this way so we can see what reinforcements they're bringing in. I've got heavy artillery coming in on this as well now. Where are they going with those rifles? Oh, crap. Reverse move. The Shilka, we can probably move up to here now and engage those guys. The Sani, we're going to reverse back. Shilka can engage those, you see. Just like they can in other games. And they will tear infantry apart. I'd like to move the supply up to help these guys now as well. These guys all need rearming and repair though. I'd really do with more points to bring more stuff in. Maybe that's something I need to spend points on next time. These guys should be dead. They're not going to get out. Another two to full up platoons coming in. Move these riflemen back in here. Moving these guys up here. Are these guys resupplying? They should do. Maybe it's because they're in combat still. I have been recently. How are these guys doing? 65%. We'll probably get them back. Let them rearm again. These guys are rearming now. Durability 100%. Durability is going up for these guys. The vehicles are in a good position. My big concern is the infantry. The problem is I would like infantry to push with, but I equally am in a position where I don't think I can utilize the infantry to push. So what I'm going to do is pull these guys back to here and let them repair, and then push my tanks and infantry forward and leave a squad of infantry here and hope for the best. I will push up these guys, the Shilkers, as well. Haven't seen them bring in any aircraft yet, but they will eventually. These guys are holding still, just. I'm obviously slightly concerned about it. These guys are nearly fully rearmed, so that's good. So we can push these guys right up as well. These guys are fully repaired, so we'll push these guys up now to here. Just get them in the bushes for the time being. Just wait for that little symbol. There we go. Try and get these guys a bit closer. Obviously, this is a fairly dense lump of forest. So there you go, visual. So we can stop there. They are hidden, but we can engage with our tanks already. Shilkers can sit in there. That's some riflemen. So our Sani will also be able to engage those. Let's go and resupply these guys. We're going to put them in the edge of this town. And we're just going to put the supply trucks behind them to repair them. And these guys will push up this way. You can put them back in the vehicles. It takes a little while. Our mortars are coming up. They will also engage those forces. Hopefully that's all they've got in there. They're not engaging these guys, so I assume these guys are reasonably well hidden. And that means we've broken through and sort of joined up with these forces here, which is good. And then we can sort of push out from this side of the map across, but it's a wide front to be covering. And obviously you have to try and defend what you've already got as well. So the AI will place a couple of infantry there, but that's all they'll place there. So, you know, it's a bit of a balancing act. Oh. Lots of artillery coming in there. And they're killing my Shilkers. I'm going to retreat those guys. Interesting that they've started using artillery on me. Going to get these guys moved up.
5 minutes remaining.
5 minutes left of this phase, so it'd be nice if we could take this point. I'm going to let them fire everything at these guys. Do we push these guys up as well? Probably. Let's put them back in their vehicle. And then fast move them up here. Push these guys up. I want them to fire at those guys. You guys as well. Just fire everything at these. So we can try and get in there. I mean, these guys have guns, but I don't really want to use them as an aggressive unit because they'll get destroyed in the recon. We should be able to win this fight pretty... Oh, wow. Crap. They were down to 3 squad members. What the heck? BTR-70 fire supports. Don't know what they've got in there. Jeez, they tore apart that squad. I think we're going to cap this now. Push these guys this way. They've got the BRDM2 recon unit there as well. We should be able to engage that. There we go. We're capping that now. With 3 minutes to go, we should cap it. Our Shilka's repaired, so we can bring that in. And those have got a minute left. Whatever's in the field starts in the field the next game, I believe. So it's worth calling stuff in unless you particularly think you'll need something different. For example, if you feel you need the choppers, you can do that. We're going to put them at the edge, but I think you can reposition all these forces at the start of the next game. But I think it depends on area you can control, where you can call stuff in after the initial round. These guys are defended really well, so I'm quite pleased with that. And we've got some level ups, look. So the T-72s have ranked up, so that's really good. And they'll keep that rank unless they all die. So, you know, it's worth keeping squads alive if you can. But obviously it's not always possible to do that. So you're just doing your best. But at least we've linked up with these guys to some extent. I don't really want to push up too much with just 2 minutes to go. I don't suspect we could get into this next point. I mean, it's up a hill for a start, so I'm not too hopeful about that. I am going to call in the rifleman though. Let's move these things up a bit. The tanks. Can we get these guys up here just to have a quick look? I feel like it's going to be a more difficult place to assault because of the hill. Yeah, see, they've got stuff right there. So reservists, but they are units nonetheless. I mean, 1 minute 55 to go. We could try and push up here and do some damage. But, see, they're in place now. And the longer they're in place, the higher the entrenchment becomes. They'll eventually dig themselves in properly. So they can fire at them from there, interestingly. I'm surprised they have eyes on. It looks like a big hill. Maybe less of a hill than I thought. Yeah, they can fire from there, look. I'm not convinced they can see them. I'm pretty sure their shells are bending over the hill there. One minute to go. I don't think we'll be taking that in a minute, but we're putting the pressure on, at least doing some damage.
1 minute remaining.
Obviously, they can call in reinforcements as well, though. They smoked us to stop the tank firing. Interesting tactic. Very nice. We should kill that squad at least. Yeah. Nice. I mean, I really don't think we'll take this, but I'm going to have a look. Yeah, 17 seconds left. I don't think that's going to happen. I might just deploy these. Yeah, tanks back there. Yeah, there it is, ended. Did a bit of damage to those tanks. So, we lost 41, they lost 100. We more than doubled again the wounded ones. Missing, we lost 6. Total, 165. Vehicles lost, we lost 1, they lost 46. That's pretty good. This is what we killed. So we killed T-72s, some Conkers, Rifleman, fire support, T-55s. T-72s are doing a good job. The Rifleman did a good job too, though. Sani were doing a good job at harassing, but didn't really kill very much. And this is what's going on elsewhere. So that's the 7th Panzer Division, the Allied AI killing stuff, but they also lost some T-55s. They got some kills, though. They did defend well. Good. So we can close that. So phase 1 completed. So we do next phase. You can retry if you want. Okay. So we got 106 points to spend, which isn't a huge amount. We can have more deployment points. 75 equals 75, so it would allow us to call more in. We could upgrade this, and upgrading it would give us more T-72s, which is an option. Or we consider bringing in something else. You got the T-55s, but the thing I don't like about... I mean, you do get the AM version, I suppose, when you upgrade it. You just don't get anything else. It just upgrades to AM instead of A. These guys, you do get the artillery pieces. And that's tempting because artillery can be very helpful. It would cost us 100 points, though. The question is, do we want more infantry? And the answer is probably yes. We've only got 2 squads of infantry there. And that would also give us some more recon and mechanized task force, wouldn't it? 70... I might go with that, you know. Because it would give us more riflemen. We've only got 2 squads of infantry at the minute, which is a bit bothersome. And it'll give us BRM-1K, which is a bit more recon. I think we'll go with that for 100 points. I think that's going to be beneficial in the long run. And we've got 6 points left, and I'm not going to spend those. So choice here is recon focus. I'm going to go for uneventful this time because I don't feel the next operation needs extending necessarily, and I also don't feel we need any recon aid at the moment. So let's go for uneventful. Obviously, the harder difficulties, the more negative ones there are.
New objective received.
Okay. Where are we at? So, we control all these points. We are very close to this, so it's actually neutralized it because we got so close. We still hold this area. Now, these first few areas didn't give us anything there, but if we capture this and this, we'll get 25 points and then another 50 points to spend. So it is worth capturing stuff, and these give you victory points every turn because they're victory conditions. So I believe while it's paused we can move stuff about. So these guys are fully repaired. Where can we move to? Oh, we can't actually put them anywhere we want. That's a shame. I thought maybe we could put them anywhere. What happens if I call something new in? It wants to come in from back there. I thought if it was already on the field you could maneuver it where you wanted, but maybe they've changed that. It's alright, it's not the end of the world. I might move that fast back to this so it resupplies. I'm going to call in more riflemen up here. And that's us down to 25 call-in points. I can't call anything else in, but the riflemen are what we need at the minute. BRM-2 can probably move up to here. So we'll be aiming for that point next and then that one. So we kind of need to push this way as well. Sani can probably push to here. I'd love to get these guys up there, but let's wait because I don't know what they've got in there. So we'll unpause. So we're engaging these guys. Yeah, so it's literally taken us back to exactly the point we were at, which is pretty cool. I think in the beta it took you to like a redeployment almost, unless it's dependent. I think maybe that happens after the phases have passed. I think there's 2 phases in the first section and then 3 in the next 2, so maybe that's a factor as well. Some T-72s back there. These guys are pushing up. They are anti-tank, so our mortars are firing at those guys. Can we push these guys up so they can fire at those tanks? Surprised they can't fire from where they are. Can they fire now? Yes, they are. Good. Let's get these guys up really close if we can and get some side shots. Shilka is in an okay position. I'd love to push these guys up to here if I can. I'm worried there's going to be enemies in there, but we'll have a look. I don't think... Oh, they're firing at our tanks, but I think we're okay. An attack with 1 to 3 platoons involved, so they're going to attack us soon. So these guys are anti-tank, so we should be able to get some shots on these guys. Nice. Oh, even more platoons. I'd love to get these guys into this forest. The anti-air... I'll probably sit up here for now. These guys have a fair amount of stuff still. Let's push the recon up a bit. Because it'd be nice if we can capture that as well. Just going to push these guys up to this tree line. Oh, that's anti-air there. Missile AA. Strela. We're within range to hit that with anti-tank, so we'll send those in as well. Move these infantry up. Well, these guys are actually not in a bad position, so we'll get them right to the edge of the forest and just hold for now. Because if they're doing a counter-attack, we kind of need to defeat that. I might move the Shilkas up into here. And they can stay where they are. They're in place, so they're a bit better defended. Kind of would like to get these guys moved up as well. Oh, there's some enemy units. Hit X to change their status. Just engage these guys. What is that? A triangle? Oh, conkers. Oh no. Where's my artillery? I need artillery. Conkers are bad. I need to retreat these guys back here because they're getting shot at from that way. This is their pushback now. Want them facing this way. We could use the napalm strike as well. I'm going to retreat those guys because they're getting slaughtered. Riflemen should be able to kill those guys. The tanks, I kind of want to retreat a bit. These guys are okay. Let's just fire support. The riflemen are my main concern there. I think we're okay. They're retreating. I want to move these guys up to kill these BMP-1s and the riflemen. BTRs are just about okay. They're actually surviving. They've still got a full squad. How are we doing elsewhere? These guys are okay. We managed to fend off that attack then, so I'm pleased with that. Minimal losses on our side. We got some damage to tanks and things. Right, what we need to do is call our supply in. So we're going to tell him to move fast up to here to rearm everyone and repair. These guys can push in here. We can capture that. This guy can push up to here so we can see down this way. So there was something firing at our tanks when they were at the edge here, so they obviously have eyes on. But I'd like to repair all of this. Look at the rank up here. There you go. So there's something there. It's rifleman squads. If we move these tanks up a bit. They are damaged, but they're not too badly damaged. We've got 77% still. This is going to stress these guys out a lot. Yeah, they're panicking, look. So the Sani are doing that job well. Question is, what have they got there? Can I push? I might just move up a bit. There's no real defense there, so I'm just going to have to go for the town. Wondering if I can push this. Oh. Yeah, actually, retreat. There's a lot of fire coming out of that town. And look at that artillery back there. We can drop some heavy artillery to return fire on those with our points. They've got long-range missiles, which isn't ideal. Call in some more riflemen. I'm going to call them in here because I'd like to push this. Oh, these guys are getting hit pretty hard at this side as well. I've got lots of... and they might be alright. They got... yeah, they got a good hit on that tank there. That's not good. I'm actually going to retreat those guys now because they're getting artilleried as well. I've dropped some artillery, but I think they're moving stuff around. These guys might be counter-batterying. No, they're not. They're firing at those guys at the front. I'd like to pull those guys back to here. And let's move those guys up to there. Let's just stop these guys here. Is that our... no, it's the enemy firing at our friends. BMP-1 and a Shilka. I mean, I could drop napalm on them, but they've got Shilkas there. I need to send something over there to help them, really. I'm just not sure what. Oh, these guys are still under attack. Pull them further back. Oh, that's not good. I'm getting pushed here as well. Kind of want to get these guys in the forest so they have a bit more defense. Some helos. We need the Shilkas. Can you move fast up there, please? First time I've seen them bring in aircraft of any kind. Fast, fast, fast. Put the floor... yeah, put your foot down. High speed, Shilkas. High speed. Now engage. Shoot down those choppers. I'm telling you to attack those then, because you don't want to attack them. We need to retreat those guys because they're getting slaughtered. Shilka's doing their job, great. These can't resupply because they're under fire still. Kind of actually need to move those guys over there instead, I think. These guys are nearly out of ammo. Putting up more of a fight this time, that's for sure. These guys have held at least. Not in a good way, though. Really need to take these points. That's one of their reinforcement zones there and over there. So they can reinforce from there, and I can't capture that, so I've just got to defend this point. I suppose it might be easier to try and defend right at the edge there, or even in the forest itself. Just looking around. Well, these guys aren't doing much at the minute. I can call in those riflemen. I'm going to push this. I'll have to smoke it. They've got Sani there. Highly leveled up Sani. I'm going to quickly retreat these guys to rearm them, because I think it's going to be faster to drive them back and forward than try and get a supply truck to them. These guys should rearm once they're out of combat. Switch these guys to combat mode and push them up. Just going to push them all the way up there. I need these guys to rearm and repair, and these guys. I just want it to reverse. Shilka's in a decent position. Hopefully they can fully repair from that. Well, they've killed that unit. If I do a napalm strike on this town. Keep our fingers crossed, they might get shot down here. I don't know how big the napalm strike will be or exactly where it's going to hit. Here are their jets. I think they picked their targets within the circle. So yeah, they went for the riflemen. Okay. And they did get out, so they're okay. Super. So yeah, see, they're going to attack us again. See, I've called these riflemen in there, but actually I think I need to call them in up here to defend. I'm going to get these guys to the edge of here. I'm going to push the tanks up with them. And I'll have to try and shoot them as they come in off the map. I think that's my only option. I really want to go and support these guys. I don't want them to lose that point. So you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm actually going to move these guys down that way. And I'm going to... Are these guys... No, they're not even there yet. I'm going to push these guys up to the edge of this town to try and fire at these guys. And we'll call in heavy artillery on the Shilkas. Just going to push them up. These guys are getting an arse kicking. Let's move the supply up as well then. Nice. Killed them. Just the T-72s, which are the issue now. I keep trying to press G for reverse, the same as it is in Wargame. R for reverse. Deploy these guys. Chase those guys away.
New objective received. Zone lost.
Ah, we lost it. Well, that was what I was worried about. Deploy these guys. There we go. Just move them up to there. We'll help defend them. We just need to try and hold this up here at the minute. Fine.
Objective received.
So we still got all the vehicles there. We're fully repairing that. So I'm going to leave one set of tanks here. Let's fully rearm that one. Is that one already? No, it needs rearming anyway. Let's drop some artillery on here. And call in... Where's our Sarnies? They are fully rearmed, so we can move them fast up to here. And then 5 minutes left of this phase. It's gone by so quickly. We've made hardly any progress and we've lost an important point. It's not good. I'm going to move these guys fast down this way. I want to try and get them over here. I'm actually going to send those guys over that way as well because we really need to hold those points. Anything else we hold as a bonus, but we really need to hold that point. I just kind of want to move these guys up to here if I can in that... Is that? That's not actually coming... Oh, it is. If I hover over it there, there we go. So our artillery worked there. These guys are getting a butt kicking though. I'm not convinced I'm going to be able to recapture that in 3 minutes. I'm going to push my units up, so I'm going to have to try. But I'm concerned they have stuff in there. Depends if they've got other infantry in there. If it was just those scout vehicles that had captured it, it's perfectly possible it was the scout that had captured it. And these guys are in a decent defensive position and they've got plenty of supply. I need to be able to call in more units though, really, don't I? Maybe that's where I have to spend some points next turn, is to be able to bring in more units. I am capping this. Okay, that's good. Tempted to drop artillery on those to try and kill them, but... 2 minutes? I should capture that. And that means another 25 victory points. You can speed the game up and down, by the way. You can do that if you so wish. I realise I forgot to mention the speed thing in the corner there. Obviously it's single player, so you can speed it up, pause it, hit the pause key, etc, etc. It's literally the pause key on the keyboard. I was so confused in the beta when it said press the pause key. I'm thinking, which key is the pause key? But there is actually a pause key on the keyboard.
Zone captured.
Not that I've ever used it in my life before. Pause key to me is space for YouTube. Move this guy up here. We're going to move these guys into the buildings here so they can fire out. And we'll move these guys into here. Move them fast up that way. I think they'll follow the road if they're moving fast. These guys are going to fire at those. So we didn't get as much as we wanted. We captured those 2 points this turn, so it's only 75. But the enemy were putting up a hell of a fight and bringing in a lot of reinforcements up there, so that was a challenge, to say the least. But we'll get ourselves into a defender position up here and here, and we'll just have to try and hold.
1 minute remaining.
Because what we're trying to do here is hold. That's gone green. I think because we just took that. I don't think I need to have units in them. I think we just have to hang on to them. That's gone green. And we had it last turn. They gave us 50 points in total, so that makes sense. I'm just going to put them in here very stupidly, probably. I have to move them up there to start next turn. I just want to double check it doesn't go green when I go in. No, it's not. We hold it anyway. Or our allies hold it. It's fine. 11 seconds to go. So, slow progress. But we defended against a lot of attacks, so we'll take that. I need to see how long my video is getting. I will obviously continue the campaign. It's great fun. Obviously, spoiler warnings, this is the campaign after all. But obviously, everyone will play it differently. So, after action report, I'm scrolling up and down like a madman. T-72s did a great job. What did we lose? We lost 1 vehicle this time, so we lost 2 in total. 7 missing, wounded 107, dead 37. I mean, we're still doing them a lot more damage. They lost 43 vehicles and they lost a helicopter. So T-72 did a good job. BTR Rifleman did a good job. T-72s did a good job again, and the BTR-70s did a good job. No kills for the Sani that time. It's just... Oh, there's our allies. They did get some kills. They lost their BMP-1 squad, though. Yeah, dead there. They lost a few BMP-1s, actually, in a BTR-70, so... Not ideal that they lost so much, but it is what it is. So we close that, and we go to... So Phase 2 is concluded, so we now move on to Stage 2. So there's Stage 1, Stage 2, and Stage 3. And I think the objectives will change. Let's click that and see. So the next phase. Okay, yeah, so we were on that one, and we've now moved up here. So Allied Garrisons has early exit, must secure exit, no pre-battle deployment. Okay, so we don't get any pre-battle deployment again, which is a shame. We do get engineer support now if we want it, which is to put down defensive emplacements, but it says no pre-battle deployment, so I don't know if we get that or not. So we've got 287 points to spend because we got 100 extra for doing that, so we've got plenty of points. So the question is, where do we spend it? What we need to think about now is we haven't lost a lot, but we can restore these units. So that costs us 2 points, I think. So there we go, and that costs us 5. So that takes us to 280. So we've restored all our units, and it's worth doing because these guys are all ranked up. So we want to keep those groups of units at that rank if we can. Deployment points were a thing I was a little bit worried about, so I'm actually going to spend some points there because that will allow us to bring in the other recon unit for a start. Then we have to consider whether we want to do some upgrades. So here we would get assault engineers, which is not a bad option, I suppose. And here, we'd get some more tanks. But we aren't going to be able to afford to bring them in unless we buy more points, because the tanks cost a bit to bring in each turn, don't they? So, ideally, I would like that. What else can we call in? We could have BMP Riflemen and T-55s for 100. That's difficult. I'm torn, to be honest. I think we bring the T-72s in. That's 100 points, and then so we upgrade that. We've got the T-72. We've got the HQ unit as well, and I think we spend 2 sets of points on that, which will allow us to call in the tanks and something else. I think that's the route we go down, and maybe we can even call in the HQ unit this time. But yeah, deployment points here are going to be beneficial, so it was time to do that because we're trying to cover a wide area. So let's go to the events. We still just have these ones, so we could do an extended operation, and our time on the video is, we're just 1 hour and 9 minutes because I talked a bit at the start. So what I will do is I will click to start the battle, and then I'm going to save, and I'm going to end the video there, and then we will pick it up, just because I don't want to make a video that's too long. It's just to show off the game a little bit. Obviously I will do a full review, but I'd rather just show it off a bit first. My intention is probably to play a bit on stream as well. So let's go for extended operations this turn for another 5 minutes and see if we can get some pushing done. So here we go, we're on phase 3. Entrenched units are extremely hard to hit. To quickly overwhelm a defensive position, attack from close range of the flank. Okay, so big change, big change. We are on a different map. We didn't cap the entire map last time, sadly. Obviously, the intention is if you can try and do that, that's good. So, new stage, new map. So, I guess if you can, the aim would be to try and control the entire map at each stage. Because that gets you all the extra points for spending on stuff. So, never mind. Something to think about next time we play it through. That's to the next stage, so you have to cap to that. That's where we're aiming for. So, take to the next stage. And stage advanced condition secure an exit zone. So that's the exit zone there. I think that's the only one. Yeah. So we start at any of these points here and we control these two. But these are our supply points. You'll notice we've got supply. We don't get any pre-battle deployment, so we can't deploy in here. But this is a big road going through here and some train tracks. And this looks like a train station. There's some trains there. And they control the other side of it. We control this side of it. We control open fields. And they control actual buildings. So ideally what we need to do is they can call in stuff here. We need to try and take this, 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 and this. And then pin them into this corner while still defending all of this. So basically it's going to be a pain in the bum. But I'm going to escape. I'm going to quit there, but it should save our state. So if I quit, and we'll double check operations, there we go. So on that one, and we click phase 3. Yeah, so we're back to that point of needing to spend our points, but that's fine. So that's where we're saved at. We can spend our points again. Thanks for watching a bit of Regiments, everyone. Obviously, please do like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned to the channel. We'll be doing more Regiments. I will do some more of the campaign. I will try and stream some, and I will definitely be doing a full review for the game. Thanks again to the team at Bird's Eye Games for the key, and also MicroProse. Very kind of them to provide it. It's nice to get a preview key and get an early look at the final game, with a few adjustments still to come. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Please do like, share, and subscribe, as I say, and I will see you all soon.